everyone and welcome to the very first episode or update video thing. You can see up here and probably down that way maybe, or I might have a little, just a bit. This is basically sponsored by Patreon. Now there's actually been a very influx on Patreon. There's now 14 of you guys. I mean, what? There's 14 of you guys and we actually met the first goal with the Patreon. Now this sort of series of videos and so on and so forth, it's like a monthly roundup, how things are going on the channel, what's my plans, maybe a couple of questions from you guys that I will take from the Discord, and make sure you're joining the Discord, and of course just making sure, like, updating how the Patreon itself is going. So the actual $150 goal was reached, so that's a fully Patreon sponsored update video. Want to know what's going on behind the scenes, and the Patreons do get a early day access to this, and it'll be posted through the Patreon and then become public for you guys. So you're seeing this slightly after the Patreons. But in saying that, there's nothing going to be detracting from that because it is literally just an update video. But it's just to kind of give you guys something, you know, more behind the scenes, what's kind of going on and stuff. Now, obviously there's 14 Patreons now, and that is a hell of a lot. Now, and I have an itchy nose again, in the Patreons that I actually have, you guys, is that basically anybody who is somewhat like is pledged in the $50 tier will get a special shout out. Now, for this being the very first one, what I would like to do is do a special shout out to everyone. Just because you have all been awesome and this is really taken off. Great interacting with you guys and playing games with you guys. You do somewhat get a sort of, you jump the sort of first come first serve basis because of being Patreons where possible. Obviously I can't make too much changes because it depends, like depths, as you know, we can have 5 people when we're starting the game, but I try my best. Now I just want to say the 50 tier, Guy Who Plays Games, Rock God and Industrial Black, thank you so very much guys, honestly thank you so very much. Demon, thank you as well, and Declan, Outcast, Savage Gaming, and I believe it's Itamar, I hope I'm saying that right. We've got Christopher, Brody, we've got Morthok, Billy Dean, Gornsey, and of course Bulletproof, which is in fact developers of Brutes. So thank you everyone for making this first goal possible. Now, and in regards to that, we're making our way. I'm just bringing up the Patreon page. We are making our way to goal 2, which is, this goal was here at the thoughts of other Patrons, because I was asking what they kind of want to see and stuff like that, which is basically it'll be a full Patreon sponsored series. Still working on how that would go because we're still a bit away from that, but it'll probably be a selection of games I probably have that you guys could pick from, or maybe suggest something, and it would be worked out between us basically, and then it would be Patreon sponsored. I don't know how long it would last for. It would be a full series of a game, or it might be a sort of something of something. We'll find out. Now, in regards to that, of course, Patreon is pretty much going well. It's lovely speaking to you guys, and to be honest, I just want to make sure that you guys are aware the Q&A for the 25k. I know it's been quite late and whatnot, but it is coming. I'm just working on it. There's been a lot going on health-wise, and that's all I'm going to kind of see about that just now. But we are making our way through things, and we are getting there. We are definitely getting there. So, as you know, the merch store launched. You've probably seen the video. If you've not, there's there. It's on Redbubble. Just search Smash Gaming. You can get yourself one of these goodies. And to be honest, it's pretty damn amazing quality. I'm definitely going to be grabbing a mug myself because it's pretty awesome. We launched 2 new series this week, or within the last week. We've got Startup Company and Uncrewed, and they seem to be going pretty well. Another couple episodes of 6 Skylines, Airships, and of course some Forts. We know the survival series completed. Still playing with the idea of doing a second season in some form. Spoke to some of the developers of Forts, and they were saying that it'd be interesting if we could do like a 2v2. Now the only thing, the logistics behind that would be an absolute nightmare, because in order to do the survival series, obviously it's like you only need 2 people to be on to do it, whereas at 2v2 you'd need 4 people to be on at the same time to do it. So I don't know if it'd be something I'd maybe do in a tournament type style more, where they will have the lives, but it would be like brackets and everybody would have set times and that, just to work on that. But still thinking about that, looking towards the future of, there is going to be an XCOM series on the new expansion coming out. That's towards the end of the month. Now, the Patreons do in fact get first access to a name on that, but bear in mind, I will be, as soon as the first video is up, I will say in the comments, you know, if you want Soldier, name them, and so on and so forth. And as we go through the game, there'll be more added. It's the same with like City Skylines and everything, and on Discord I actually say, right, when I'm going to record, give me some names and I'll fling them in where possible. So, with that guys, that is actually quite a lot. Now, I'm going to be moving on to a little bit more of a serious thing. I was going to do a video on this separately, but I think it kind of fits in here quite nicely. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, or if you're on the Discord, you'll know about this. There has been a mass, pretty much a big mass demonetization on my channel. And it doesn't even make sense. YouTube apparently has rolled out a new sort of AI bot thing. And looking at some of the closed captions, I don't know what the hell it's picking up because it seems to be completely weird. The rap video I actually put out got demonetized when it has Epidemic Sound music, which is copyright-free music in the background, and me playing with my rats. I mean, I don't see how that could be offensive, but YouTube. And I spoke to creator support, and they're being extremely unhelpful because they're like, yeah, well, just follow these guidelines, and it's like, I am following those guidelines, and that video explains why it's been demonetized, but they can't give me a straight answer. This seems to be a regular occurring theme with YouTube though, is people, creators, don't know where they stand. It's like, oh, you get little icons and it'll tell you what's what, and it's like, right, fair enough, you get those little icons, but how about you tell us why it's been demonetized? Because I could get if there was a video with a lot of swearing or some off-topic stuff in the video, maybe, or, you know, something that was very controversial or something like that, but a video with some jazzy music with rats running around my arms? Explain. So with that though, the channel has taken quite a substantial hit. I don't like talking about it much because it did actually, without going into too much detail, I got kind of aggravated and stuff and had to step aside for a wee while because it was just, well, it does hit. Because I potentially would like to turn this into something I could rely on eventually and do it full time, because I don't do this full time. Because I actually have a full-time job, I also do, and this, so I would like to have this as it, if that at all possible. Now Patreon has somewhat softened that blow, along with like what has come in, so that in itself is kind of accumulated together. Now I know a lot of YouTubers, or some YouTubers, have been turning to Patreon as a sort of like, this is how I will get my funding for the channel, which is fair enough. I try to not put tons and tons of ads on. YouTube's ads work in a way like you won't, if you see the little yellow bar, it doesn't actually give you an ad for every single one of them, because YouTube basically knows how much of a video you've watched and how many other videos you've watched, and it accumulates, and the algorithm apparently is meant to work in a way that will basically like, right, you'll see only 50% of these adverts on this video, or 20% of them, maybe even you only see the starting one, sort of things like that. And I don't really like talking about sort of income from channel and sort of thing, because it's quite difficult, but there's, for a rough estimate, or not a rough estimate of how much like would come, there is a rough estimate of how many videos got demonetized. There was about 400, and every time I had spent about 3-4 hours going through requesting manual reviews and all, and they take a long time to actually go through them. I think all the death videos were demonetized apart from 2. They've all been remonetized apart from 1. The City Skylines was demonetized, which makes no sense. Startup Company, the entire series, has been demonetized, which again makes no sense. But all I can do is request a review and wait on them to get to it whenever the hell they get to it, which can be days, months, years, to be honest. Some of the older series on the channel have been hit, which of course they're probably not getting any more views, so it doesn't really matter. But when Forts and Startup Company, City Skylines, the actual running series, are getting hit, that's when it's going to be pretty bad. And I pretty much... such an itchy nose. I pretty much said in my Discord that it's like I'm going to not allow any swearing in videos going forward that are recorded now with people. Or I'm going to do my best to try and blurb it out, to try and keep the videos even, because my channel is very sort of family friendly. I know some of you guys have actually mentioned, you know, there's a few families that have actually turned around and said, you know, look, I sit down with my boys in the morning and actually watch your channel, and it's one of these, like, you know, you're one of very few YouTubers that don't swear, and that kind of takes me back, because imagining like an actual family sitting down to their TV to watch one of my series is insane and pretty damn awesome, and that's what I want to kind of push for and make sure everything's going well. So yeah, that's just a little bit of background going on at the moment. There is a lot of fighting back and forth where I'm getting very copy and paste answers from the creator support, so I just need to bide my time, and hopefully any video that has been, I've asked for a review that's then been remonetized, has been quite much remonetized there and then. There's been none that haven't yet, but there is still about, like, every time one gets remonetized, 2-3 more get demonetized. There's some smash looks that have been demonetized, with no explanation again, other than not suitable for all advertisers. It's like, well, why isn't it suitable? You're trying to be more transparent. Be more transparent. But guys, that's a serious topic out the way, but overall the channel is growing. We are at 26,500 odd. Maybe a little bit higher than that now. So it tells me by the end of the year, if it carries on at about 20 subscribers a day, it will possibly hit 30,000 by the end of the year, which is nuts. Actual nuts. And a humongous thank you, guys, for making Smash Gaming possible. To the guys that have joined in Discord, because it's getting pretty damn big in there. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining for videos. If you want to join us for videos, because depths cross out Forts as well. I'll literally say, you know, I'm going to record Forts in about half an hour, or I'll give announcements and everything. I'm looking at the possibility of introducing sort of multiplayer nights in some form. It might come down to Sundays being like multiplayer focused videos throughout the day, so there'll be no Smash Loot, no other series, and it'll be like depths cross out Forts, probably because it kind of blurs the line a little bit. Because Forts, I covered the new maps and everything. Forts is just there. I love Forts. I really enjoy it, to be honest, and it's great to interact with people. But that's one of those things I'm sort of thinking of, that sort of stripping back the schedule I have, because usually you get 3 videos of each series a week, but possibly looking at dropping down a series so that you'll get enough during the week of each show, and then having Sundays as basically 3 slots of multiplayer games. But I don't know yet. I may play that and maybe give you your thoughts and opinions on that one, whether it's in Discord, whether it's in the comments. Now, for those wondering, I get a lot of comments per day. There is a huge amount of comments nowadays, and I do my best to reply where possible, or reply to, you know, if someone's put a bit of critique or a big question or something like that. But I am extremely active in the Discord. Now, I do come in there and ask for recordings and stuff like that, but usually, like, the rules and everything like that are there, they're quite lenient, to be honest. But they're usually, the mods and the admins will deal with all that, whereas I sort of come and go to creating the content, because that's what I'm here, I'm the creator. So with that, guys, though, Patreon, thank you very much for making this video possible. The one will be next month. I tried to do it in the first week, which I've kind of missed on this one, with things going on, but hopefully it'll be somewhat different next month, or it might be around about the same time. We'll have some things to catch up on, see how certain shows are doing, because everything seems to be fairly strong at the moment. City Skylines is the weakest show out of them all, because they're all getting thousands of views and everything like that, and all kind of climbing up that way. Of course, introducing 2 new shows within a week is slightly different from what I'm used to. Uncrewed is going really well. It does feel like Terror Tech and Warzone sort of thing. Startup Company reminds me completely of Game Tycoon, but a lot more in depth, and it's pretty awesome. There's some people that have got characters in that as well. Again, Patreons do get first access to that, but in saying that, comments, remember, will get you street names, character names, so on and so forth. Just a quick brief rundown though, merch store has launched, guys. It's pretty damn great quality stuff that's actually on there now. I'm actually really surprised with the top, because I used to have a merch store before and it was some Spreadshirt, and the actual quality of the top was good. This is better. Good quality top, and the actual print is amazing, and you can get the smaller one here and the bigger one if you want to. There's also a Frazzy down top if you want it as well. But guys, thank you very much for watching this update video. Hopefully you'll look forward to more, and thank you for the Patreons for making this possible, and I shall see you guys next time.